my name is Leo, and welcome to another day of the Elder Scrolls Daggerfall. We have been riding on this horse for a few days now, and we're going to be riding on it for a few more, because it takes a while to get to Valfaria. Sure does. But we'll get there eventually. In the meantime, though, I got some more stories that I can talk about. Yesterday, there's two pieces of information that I should recap before we get into today's story, and that is that before I even went on my trip, well, the night before I went on my trip, I went onto a Australian government website called Smart Traveller that tells you about basic information and things you should be careful about in the travel on the country you're going to. And one of the things it said was for countries like Laos and Thailand and Malaysia, you need to have at least 6 months, well, you should have at least 6 months of validity on your passport, which I didn't have. I've only got 3 months. That's the first thing. The second thing is, what was the second thing? Well, the second thing was I thought I was actually going to stay in Thailand the whole time, but then I found out, no, you're actually going to Laos. I'm going, okay, fine, I'm going to Laos, that's cool. As far as Smart Traveller is concerned, it's a lot less dangerous a country than freaking Thailand is, I'll tell you that for sure. But yesterday I talked about the first day coming to Thailand. Oh god, where are you going? Oh shit. That's fine, just ignore it. Yeah. So I'm kind of cheating here. I'm still an anti-player. Well, I am. I'm using a save. That's me still an anti-player. Whatever, it's fine. Just because I wanted to keep running. But anyway. Yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so the first day I did my businessy stuff that I had to do in Thailand, and then we were going to go to Laos, and then I pretty much was going to have most of the week free. What day was that? It was Monday? Yeah, Monday was the day I had to do some stuff. And then Monday night we were going to go to Laos, and then Tuesday was going to be nothing. And then Wednesday morning I had to do something. And then the afternoon was free. And then Thursday was nothing. Friday, I think I had to do something. And then Saturday was go back. So I had, you know, at least 3 days. 3 days? At least 2 days. Where I had nothing to do all day, and I could have just relaxed in the hotel. Could have gone out, I guess. I didn't really want to, but yeah, it would have been fun. Anyway, so here's what happened. So after I did all my business, we pretty much went. I think the wife and I had some downtime at like some big shopping center in the city, where we had lunch and chilled out for a bit. And then after that, it was time to go to the airport. So I worked out how to get to the airport through the subway and the rail system, which was hard the first time, but I ended up using it a whole bunch during the week, which I'll explain in a moment. And then we went to the airport, and we were, you know, checking in at the airport, and there was a problem. Oh, what's the problem? Well, your passport's only got 3 months left. Yeah, I know that. Well, you can't. You need to have 6 months. What do you mean? No, I have to go. I have to be there on Wednesday. Otherwise, like, bad things are gonna happen with my job. Like, you can't. But, okay, that rule is like for Malaysia and Thailand. I was fine with Malaysia. I was fine with Thailand. Why is this a problem? And basically, they wouldn't let me fly. Which was and then you let me book the flights. Well, we didn't. To be fair, they didn't actually book the flights directly through the airline company. They booked it through a like a travel agency. So hopefully they fucking laid into them for doing this, because it cost a whole bunch of money, thankfully not out of my pocket, to get this like rectified. Because I had to be there on Wednesday and it was Monday night, and I'm like, shit, what the fuck are we gonna do? How am I gonna get there with my passport like this? And they told me about an American who got an emergency passport, and it takes like a day to get. I'm like, okay. So I called the Australian embassy. That was after hours, so it was actually routed to Australia. And he said, yeah, you can get it. It usually takes like 2 business days. That's over time. Like, I won't be able to get to Laos by Wednesday then, but okay, sure. But, okay, so go to a hotel tonight, alright? So we went to a hotel near the Australian embassy in Bangkok, and first thing in the morning, we went to the embassy, Australian embassy, to get this emergency passport, which cost a bunch of money, thankfully not out of my pocket. But then they told us it would take 3 business days. So it's the 2nd. I need to be there the morning of the 3rd, and they're saying that I'm not going to get it until like Thursday. Wait a minute. That's right, yeah, until Thursday. Wait, was it Thursday or Friday? It was definitely Thursday. Yeah. Well, that's when we actually got it anyway. So I'm like, shit. Thankfully, my work was able to, like, push things back and do other stuff. One of the things that we did was the Wednesday that I was supposed to be meeting people in Laos in, I forget how to say the name. It's the capital city of Laos, Vientiane, which is very close to the border of Thailand. So what we ended up doing, which is hilarious, is we ended up taking a plane up to the northern part of Thailand, like right on the border. They crossed over the border into Thailand. We had the meeting in a hotel, literally right next to the border, and then they went back into Laos, and I flew back to fucking Bangkok. And there were problems with that too, because when I went to the embassy to get my my emergency passport, they said, okay, well, we have to take your passport. Like, we have to take this passport that you've got now, and then we'll give you your real passport, you know, your real passport and your emergency passport later. I'm like, okay, but now I don't have a passport, and everywhere in Thailand, no matter what you do, whether it's a hotel or police or whatever, they always ask, you know, for your passport. I'm like, well, I don't have a passport, what am I going to do? And they say, oh, okay, well, here, take this paper, which is basically a receipt for the money that I paid for the emergency passport. Show this to the police or whatever, and that'll be enough. Are you sure? She said yes. So this is before we made the plans to fly up to the northern part of Thailand, which if I'd known beforehand I would have asked her, maybe she would have given me something else. I don't know, probably not. But when we went to get the flights to go up to the northern part of Thailand, I had this meeting on Wednesday. The airline companies were like, where's your passport? I'm like, I'm flying domestically, who cares? I got this stupid paper. This is enough, right? And fuck, for a while there, they were like, no, you can't fly. I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? I'm flying domestically. Why do we need a passport to fly domestically? It's bullshit. Anyway, but thankfully it was able to happen. And the funny thing is that we booked this hotel, right? It was cheap as shit. It was a nice hotel room though. But we had this meeting in this hotel room, right? Which we checked in at what? 7 o'clock? 7 a.m? And then we checked out at 10 a.m. because we only needed them for like the meeting. And they're like, why did you? Like, we stayed there for a little bit. We hung out for like an hour or so before we went back to the airport to fly back. But like, the airport, the hotel staff were like, what the fuck? Why'd you book a hotel for like an hour? Like, shut up, business. Because I didn't want to explain the whole fucking story again. Oh man, what a pain in the ass. And one of the advantages of that is, it's not really an advantage, but the hotel that we stayed at near the embassy was this super deluxe, it was also more expensive, hotel. And the room was enormous and had this giant balcony. I felt like a king. I really did. Like, you walk out on the balcony and it's like you're like in this palace. If you ignore the fact that there are obviously hotel rooms on either side of you, and look straight out, it's like you're like standing on a balcony of your own palace, living like a king. It's great. Which is more than I can say for the hotel, the final hotel we stayed at, in Thailand. Oh, that hotel was so bad. It was cheap. It was near the airport, but it was terrible. Alright. Next, I guess I'll be talking about my Laos adventures. Although at this point, I didn't actually go to Laos until Thursday. So we ended up spending most of our time in Thailand, and because I was doing all this running around and bullshit just trying to get my passport, I ended up not actually having any downtime, which sucked. The small downtime I did have was not downtime because I was freaking out about, you know, oh, I need to have this meeting on Wednesday, and what the fuck am I gonna do? Until someone finally came up with the idea of having them cross the border by land, having the meeting in Thailand, and then them going back to Laos after, and then I'd go over to Laos later to have a proper meeting. That's funny. I suppose the other fun thing that happened in Thailand was that we rode a tuk-tuk, which I didn't want to at first, but the wife wanted to, so paid exorbitant amount of money to ride a tuk-tuk for a little bit. And he almost exclusively rode on the wrong side of the road. Like, I'm serious. Like, for the most part, he was riding on the wrong side of the road the whole way. It's funny. Yeah, I'll leave the rest of my things I want to talk about for tomorrow, which we will undoubtedly be walking some more to get to Buff area. But for now, my name is Leo, and I will see you next time.